It's my pleasure to now introduce Tom Sicklesteel. Tom is the CEO of the National Commission for the Certification of Crane Operators, CCO. Mr. Sicklesteel is also a voting board member of the ASME B30, ASME B30.29, and an alternate on the B30.5. Tom serves on the boards of 8 other companies and associations. Prior to joining CCO, Mr. Sicklesteel served as general manager for Levitt Cranes USA, branch manager for Barnhart Crane and Rigging, as well as president of Sicklesteel Cranes, Inc. Under his leadership, SCI won multiple national and regional safety awards. Mr. Sicklesteel was a stakeholder for the Washington State Crane Administrative Code Committee and Select Committee. Tom has served as a subject matter expert for the Washington Crane Certifier exam, construction hoist exam, as well as the CCO lift director exam and crane type advisory group. Tom, please give us an update on the developments and certification. Thank you.
Very much appreciated, TJ. Excited to be here today and talk a little bit about what we're doing in certification. For those of you who've been around the week, this is also the CCO Commissioner Week. We've been talking a lot about these issues, a lot about these things. And so this is our chance to spread it to the broader family of those who are participating in the industry forum. So with that, I just wanted to give a little background to who CCO is. CCO is one of the 4 accredited crane operator certification bodies. You can see that we have 205 subject matter experts. Those are volunteers that volunteer their times. We do pretty close to 135,000 exams a year. So that's a lot of exams that we do. Last year, we exceeded 15,000 exams in 1 month. We did that 2 months in a row, which seems like a lot. It felt like a lot. And we're really focused on load handling equipment and the people that work in and around them. So largely our initiatives for 2022 has been converting over from paper pencil testing, and as John kind of went through the reasons why, computer-based testing as well, and moving to event online testing and online proctor testing. The reasons, not only did John give good indication about why related to exam security, but it also allows for immediate scoring. It allows for schedule flexibility and a lot of things that CCO hasn't been known for in the past. And so we're really excited about bringing these things online over the 2023 timeline and that sort of thing. So just to give you this, the timeline for paper pencil, we're moving into My CCO portal. And that's going to be a key step to being able to register yourself, register for exams and those kinds of things. And it's where all the applications will be at. That will be available starting in December. And you can see for paper pencil itself, that's where all these compromises that John had talked about, that will be sunsetted at the end of 2023. And a variance will be required if you're going to go beyond that. We realize that there's situations where a paper pencil exam is required because maybe you're working in a nuclear space or some space where no computers are allowed, and we want to be able to provide that variance. But that will be a variance process as of 2024. So we have this next year to kind of transition over to the other systems. We are also sunsetting the LBC, LBT exams. And that's going to become an LAT, so a singular lattice boom crane exam. And we are also simplifying our load charts, and all of that rolls out the first part of January. For computer-based exams, the load charts and the LBC sunset also occur in January. Because it's computer-based and things happen, you buy things in advance, but you're able to use a token a little bit later. The sunset of the conversion to the LAT doesn't occur until right after, February 1st. But everything else on this remains pretty much the same. And you can see the CBT is sunset as well by the end of 2024. The reason there's an asterisk there is because we're still kind of figuring out what we're going to do with accommodations. And there's the potential that we may need some type of computer-based testing to address accommodation needs. And so that's why there's an asterisk there. Event online testing. Again, everything has the same MyCCO portal application process that starts in December. But we actually have testing personnel that we have to get online and accredited. And so the online testing personnel for the event-based that will start occurring in January 9th. The materials to get trained through our LMS, our learning management system, will be available, as well as the credentialing pathways. We're going to allow testing to be arranged by February 1st. It's not a requirement, but by the end of the year of 2023, it's expected that we move away from paper pencil, because that'll be done, and move into systems such as this. The other option out there that we've now created, and we got approval just recently from ANAB on our last assessment, was actually an online proctored testing, and we call that OPT. The OPT testing is you can have your computer wherever you want. It has to be a sanitary room. There needs to not be a lot of noise, but if you think like a cubicle in a library or somewhere like that, those work. A little office space works as well. And you have an online proctor. There's one proctor to every 3 people, and they review and watch you take the exam. You can't see them watching you until you do something wrong, and then they come up and they say, "You're doing something crazy. Let's start over," or "Let's stop doing that." So that whole process it was really easy for CCO, because for us there's not really testing personnel involved in that, so we don't have to credential any of that. Because it's part of our system that we already approved. So that's going to be available starting 1/9. This gives people flexibility. It's a 24-hour, 7 days a week, 365 days a year that you can register for the exams and that sort of thing. I want to talk a little bit about the tablet testing and that sort of thing. We have mobile crane operator practical exams, and we have tablet testing that we're going to bring online for a lot of that. This tablet testing is going to come into play July of next year, but we are already working on what does it look like, how does it work with a tablet, can a person hit the timing button, and a lot of that stuff. We will be beta testing this in the probably March, April, May timeline. We'll start out with beta testing, and by July it'll be available, and then tablet testing and that stuff could be done at the end of the year as well. So all of these cycles, kind of January 1, 2024 is when they'll be expected to be in play. That's what this shows you here on this slide. And you can see it has the same thing. It has an LMS process for training the proctors and the test site personnel. Tablet release, it gets released in July 1st, and then it finally is out and required by January. One of the other items, and John hit this too, and I just wanted to highlight that we're transitioning the card. A lot right now, it has a lot of the certification designations and those sort of things. And while it's been great to be able to catch fraudulent ones based on the order, we're really going to the QR code is going to be the key thing. And so you'll start seeing that in 2023 is just the QR code. So for those of you trying to cheat, that's where it's going. In 2022 initiatives also for MyCCO app, we've kind of had this app before, and we've been developing stages. First, it was just kind of register, that sort of thing, and then it was, what are my certifications? And then we've added in exams and those sort of things. And so as the MyCCO app now becomes the main place, we'll be asking for email authentication and a lot of different elements. And the intent there is to make sure that we can communicate with you, whether it's results, whether it's recertification windows, whether it's a lot of times we'll say, hey, you have a recertification coming up on this in 12 months. Here's the steps, and help people get recertified. A couple of programs I wanted to highlight. The concrete pump operator program got underway. Right now, it's just a written exam. The practical exam is going to be released in 2023. It's a 5-year certification. We've already had a number of people take this exam, and so we're excited about that. It's got off to a pretty good start. but it's something that now we're developing and that sort of thing. So this has been an area that we continue to build. One of the items that was under the most similar was telehandlers, and rotating and non-rotating telehandlers has been a focus on that. And so we are issued also a call in 2020 for a task force. We built that. We built an exam blueprint. We have 2 certifications, and we're seeking to make it compliant with 1910, 1926, and B56.6. And there's some different rules in there about timelines and windows, but it's going to be a 3-year certification. So this one will be a little bit shorter, and that aligns with 1910 and the B56.6. So we're excited about this program. It'll be coming out the end of this year, and this will be a focus for us at ConExpo. You'll be able to do a bunch of testing and some other things. And one of the last areas I want to talk about is our crane operator evaluator program. One of the things that OSHA has as far as evaluation is that you need to be a qualified evaluator of an operator. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a qualified operator. It's a different characteristic. And what we found is across the country that there's been inconsistency on how we are qualifying our evaluators. And so CCO is meaning to step into this and make sure that we are setting a national standard for what it means to have an evaluator that is qualified. The call for task force members is going to be going out here over the next couple of months, weeks maybe, days possibly. And the target for the release, they're going to start meeting in January of 2023. And by the end of that stuff, by the first part of 2024, we hope to have this program out. I'm really excited about this because there are things that we can do as an organization. We know how to test people, we know how to assess people, and so we can bring some of those skills to this area of an operator evaluator, and we're excited about developing this program. With that, I would just say, here's the many ways to stay connected to CCO. There's lots of different things that we're up to. We've been really super busy in development and of programs and how we're delivering tests and exam, and these are just the many different ways. For those of you, I know there's a really long link there for the CCO online newsletter. There's an easier way to get there on our website. At the bottom, you can click on it pretty easily. But what I would say is it's really important to stay up to speed with where we're going on a lot of stuff. We tend to lead the pack, and so it's important to see where stuff is going. We are, as far as the OPT exams, it's really neat to be one of the first organizations doing that in our industry, and that sort of thing. And so we're setting some new standards there, but it's things that we're really excited about. So with that, I know that there's a panel, and I'll be happy to answer questions as part of the panel later.